guys scrimmage tomorrow still?
Yes.
What, as you go into that second scrimmage, what are you looking for? What are the improvements you want to see?
I think we've been doing this now for, I don't know how many, 14, 15 practices. So the execution, right? Scrimmage one, you're still in some installs. Some new guys are playing in new positions and learning the system. And there's some MAs and it's not as clean. We want to go out there tomorrow with the older groups, the first two groups anyway. And I want it to be clean, efficient operation. Great tempo, and just play clean football. Take care of the ball.
Obviously, everyone knows about Nate and your room. How have you seen them grow, but also the guys around them and how they can complement them?
Yeah, I love my room, not just because it's mine, but you got Thomas, Nate, you got Luke, the three core guys that get a lot of the reps, and then Barrett is kind of the fullback type guy in our room. Really pleased with them. I think that they've improved daily. They've improved every practice, which is all I ask them to do. Catching the ball, we have certain, I'm not going to say names, but we have certain guys learn how to catch the ball with length and learn, just the different details of ball catching, and then just the different details of certain types of blocks on the line of scrimmage, off the line of scrimmage. So been very pleased with their development and just their willingness to get better, and they work hard, and the competitiveness they play with.
What have you seen out of the wide receiver crew and just how that they push each other in that competition, not just the top 3 or 4, but guys like 7 through 10 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we're a very talented group, and I say it all the time. Playing last year made us want to pull our hair out at times, playing young guys like that. But we're reaping the benefits now of guys that are just their second year of college football. They have so much experience. They play off each other. They've got great. It's a big personality room. They have a lot of fun. I think they love each other. They love being around each other. I think they love competing with each other. And it's just making them a better unit overall. They've got a bunch of different skill sets: big guys, small guys. Guys that maybe not be burners but can manipulate space and zone coverage, and we got guys that can fly. So really pleased again, with that group and how they're trending at this point.
How did those younger guys benefit from being kind of thrown into the fire last season at receiver?
I think just like any of us, I mean, failure. Like you go out there and you're not physically ready, at times to play in the Big Ten, and you got to go out there and block some grown men and get open versus some grown men, and with every rep, you're not going to win. You have failures during games. I think that we've done a nice job of learning from our failures and learning from hard times that we had last year at that position. I think it's only made us better.
The fact that camp is an extra week essentially without classes starting, what are the benefits of that from a coaching perspective to have essentially another full week going in and out?
Just to be with them, just to have them with us. And I think, this isn't part of your question, but I think Coach has done best I've ever been around this year of situational football. And I think sometimes when you run out of time at camp, you're trying to get everything in. You may not be able to spend as much time on it, but we just left a 20-minute end of game situational. He would call out situations we'd have to execute it. And I think that we're going to benefit that players, but especially coaches. We don't know the situations. I think having them an extra week allows us to do things like that and not try to speed through and get all the plays in and just check boxes. We're able to just slow down and make sure that we get everything right and get to do these these situational type things like we did today.
What are challenging situations you're talking about? What are you talking situational football?
Like 6 seconds before the half, 6 seconds, no timeout, need a field goal. Just understanding at the quarterback position, the ball's got to come out, right, and it's got to go across the goal line, and you can't scramble. You can't miss the opportunity to kick a field goal. That's one of them we did today, and just the last throws, end of game throws, different scenarios. You have a timeout, you don't have a timeout. You're on the 18-yard line. You have one timeout, 12 seconds. What are we going to go to in those? So when we get to those situations, we're going to be ready, to go.
How would you characterize Dylan's understanding, his overall understanding of that sort of thing?
A high level, I think. A lot, and Danny and Heinrich. I think that Glenn's really, really, really good at that stuff. He's a lot smarter than I am, but he teaches those guys, and just able to put them in scenarios in the meeting room, just to front load them with situations to make sure that they know how to react when they come up. But they did a really nice job today.
Are those more those situational things, like creating difficult moments? Are they more necessary for a young quarterback than for?
I think if you had Peyton Manning, you'd want to do the same thing. And again, I think it's as much for us as coaches as it is the players. And Coach says it all the time. That's how we're going to win or lose a game. It's going to come down to the end. So we have to be ready for whatever pops up, and we can't be over there trying to think of Oh, geez, there's 12 seconds. We don't have any timeouts. Oh, hey, come here, quarterback. Go through the scenarios. Hey, you got to get this in the end zone. You can't check it down. We can't do all that in that moment. We have to, put that, embedded that in our personality, in our brain, before it happens, so we can just naturally react to it.
Give a sense of a certain kind of situation you feel like you guys as an offensive got better on season, third and longs?
I think 2-minute. I think we've really emphasized, we're going to be in a lot of close games this year. It's going to come down to winning 2-minute. And again, just the scenarios that Coach Rule keeps putting us in is going to make us really, going to help us improve in that situation. We've got to be lead at it by the end of the year.
One of your big emphases this year has been not turning the ball over. How have you seen you guys respond to that?
Not to jinx this, but we're doing a lot better job. I mean, we talk about it every single day. There's not a meeting that goes by that's not, ball security is not emphasized. Like, we have to win the turnover margin. That's one of our pillars. We have to win the turnover margin. So I think we're committed to doing that, and we're focused. You got to be focused and dialed in as a ball carrier to do that, and I think that, hopefully we'll improve.
Coach, how has Dante Galvell come along and just since kind of come in that running back discussion?
I had a really good week last, probably 7, 8, I don't know if it's a week because my days are running together, but last 7, 8 practices, he's running the ball really, really hard. He's hard to tackle. I don't think, if he gets past that box, DBs do not want to tackle him. I mean, he's getting downhill. He had 2 really good blitz pickups in the last 2 days, so he's improving where he can stay in there on third down. He doesn't have to come off the field because he's getting better and understanding pass protection, but just a very physical runner and gets downhill.
I know it's tough when Teddy went down, but how have you seen that left tackle spot with Turner coming back from his spring move for rehab? Also the younger guys there with Grant and Gunner.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, and hate that Teddy's having to go through that. That stinks, but those young guys, we gave them a chance, and they're going out there and they're competing. And I think sometimes they even surprise themselves, of how well they can do and how they can hold up. So we're going to be dependent on a lot of people to rally around that position, make sure that we continue to grow as an O-line.
Can you talk about Justin Evans and just the progress you've seen him make?
You don't know he's out there. He's like a good official, right? If you don't know they're out there, they're probably doing a really nice job. Like, you don't even notice when he's out there because he doesn't really have a lot of MAs. He doesn't really screw up a lot. He just kind of does his job at an adequate / high level. He's playing with great physicality. He's improving on his pass protection. I think playing center and then playing guard, I think he can anticipate a little bit because he's made those calls before at center. So I'm really pleased with his progression to this point.
Since you're talking about the line, what's different, if anything, about Micah Mizuka, and the way that he's progressed here this month in comparison to his first couple of months in the program?
Just like any new player, you've got to develop trust. I think that, there's a total trust in Coach Raiola and Coach Rule right now of how, Coach Rule's an O-line guy at heart as well, just how we coach the O-line and what we demand of the O-line. I think there's a trust there. I think that, he's a really talented player. He's very physical. He's very strong. He can move people at the point of attack. Like, he's gotten better and better. But I think, just to answer your question, I think just, trusting that he's in the right place, that he trusts the coaching. Now he can just kind of go out there and use his God-given ability and execute.
I have a question about if he's down in the goal line area, not even red zone, but down maybe inside the 10 or 5. What's your take on the back shoulder fade and how much you as an offensive coordinator ever want to call?
I would love to do it all the time. I think we have huge receivers. We either going to run by you or we can, throw the back shoulder fade. I think we've got to be able to use, our big receivers' body types as a secret, as a superpower. And I think that's something that they do really well, is be able to jump up and locate the ball.
Have you found that there's been progress in the execution of that play? It's given you a little treat.
Yeah, we've been throwing those since day one of spring. So feel really good where we are with that. All right, thank you guys.